Hey, everybody, this is A-Train, and this is True Crime Undercover, and we just had an episode with a very special guest, Big D, and Supery, do you agree with me that is one of the best cop stories you've ever heard in your life?
Yes, it's one of the best stories ever, and amazingly, everybody came out still alive.
Right. Big D, welcome back.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be back on your guys' show. Thank me.
Okay, what about, it's an honor too.
It is an honor, yes.
Was there any other chaos episodes you had to deal with around like Christmas time or something?
Oh my gosh, you would have to bring that up, Super E.
Yes.
So, as part of my duties as the director of security at the mall, I was also in charge of other aspects like hiring what they would call the housekeepers, the people who would walk around and clean the mall and things like that. And they would hire, I think they had a program with like a special needs society or something like that would hire a lot of those people to give them jobs and allow them to be productive, which was very good. However, there was an older person that we had hired, and just a little feller, wasn't quite right.
A little bitty feller.
Listen, little bitty feller, yeah. So I could tell that he was infatuated by the security officers. Why, I don't know, but he was always wanting to hang around with them, always talking to them, wanted to see our vehicle and our equipment and things like that. So we had just recently changed badges for our security department. I got different badges. And me being the nice person that I am, and this guy being enamored with police security type stuff, and knowing that, he could, at his age and stuff, he can't do that anymore. Yeah. I go up to him and I said, "Hey, look, man, I got an extra badge. How would you like to have a security badge?" And his eyes just lit up like a 3-year-old boy meeting his favorite superhero. And so he takes the badge, and well, I didn't know what this was going to turn into. So this was Christmas time now, and back then the mall at Christmas time was the place to be. It was happening. There was big goings on, and lots and lots and lots of people. The parking lot was absolutely filled all the way around the mall. The traffic was so heavy that we used to have to put a security officer at the front entrance of the mall to direct traffic in. So I'm up in my office, and I get a radio call saying that there is an individual wearing a reflective police vest with a flashlight standing out in the middle of US 41, which we call 3rd Street through this town.
But it's the busiest road in the town.
Yeah, it's right off I-70. It's it's like a 6-lane.
Yeah.
It's very, very busy now. And then add on Christmas time traffic back then, and it was insane, the amount of traffic. So I get this radio call that a guy who was clearly not a police officer or a security officer, wearing a police officer reflective vest with a flashlight, holding a badge in his hand, standing in the middle of US 41, stopping traffic. So we get out there. I had one of the guys that was out on what we called lot patrol, drove me out there, and I see it's this guy that I gave this badge to, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So we get up there, and I don't even remember the guy's name, but I said, "What are you doing?" He's got all these cars are stopped. There's this big traffic jam out on where he lives at a stoplight right in front of the mall is where he was standing. And I said, "What are you doing? You're gonna get somebody killed." So we get this guy pulled off to the side, and he's still got this badge in his hand. And I looked at him. I said, "Where'd you get that badge? You're not supposed to have that." I immediately had a cover for myself.
You will, of course.
So, he goes, but you gave it to me. And I was busted out right there. Yeah, I said, well, I had to recover the badge. I said, you are not, you have lost all authority to be able to have this. So he lost his badge privileges and went back to sweeping the floor.
It was like in Branded with Chuck Connors. You ripped off all his police stuff you gave him.
Oh, my God.
I don't even know where he got the police reflective vest.
And what about the flashlight? Was that your flashlight?
You know what? It was one of those little mini mag lights where you twist the top and it turns on like you thought he was going to. He was big stuff with that.
Were people exiting their cars screaming about what was going on?
They weren't, but there was like mass chaos. There were people honking their horns and like throwing their arms around, like what's going on? I'm like, do not know this guy.
Did any of the city police officers show up and go, "What the hell"?
No, actually, we got this all cleared up before any of those guys got there. So.
Thank God.
And got him back on his broom.
I was going to say, use that big broom to sweep it under the rug.
Yes. So,
classic.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
That was it.
Well, you know what? There's always something going on at the mall.
There was.
Yeah, you got that, and then you got Super E hanging out in the bathrooms, picking up weenie waggers and all that. Yeah.
Yes.
Holy moly.
Yes.
Those were some good stories there, Big D.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling in.
We still got the water tower story, so whenever you're ready for that, Super E.
Oh, that's a quick one. How long we been? Okay, throw that water tower in story real quick.
Okay. So this was probably in 2002. I was full-time on the police department with the White Castle incident, but I was also the town marshal for this small town out east. So I was working out there marshaling, and it was in the middle of the night, and right by our town hall there was one of those big, huge water tanks, water towers, the big bowl.
Yeah,
right.
So I don't know how tall those things are. 100 feet or so, however tall.
About 150 feet.
Yeah, probably. So I said I could hear somebody screaming, and I couldn't tell where it was coming from, but I could tell that he was saying, "I love Judy." He was screaming, "I love Judy." This man loved Judy. So every small town has a lawnmower man, and then just the crazy town person. Every town's got one guy pushes around a lawnmower, and then just guy who's absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
Well, this was the guy that was absolutely nuts. So I finally figure out that the sound is coming from around the town hall. So I go around there, and I'm shining my spotlight on my police car, and I just happen to look up at the water tower, and this knucklehead has climbed all the way up this water tower and is sitting on top of the big water bowl tank thing where this red blinking light is. He's just sitting on top of that thing, hanging on to this blinking light, screaming, "I love Judy, and I'm not coming down." So now to get to that point, he had to climb over a chain link fence with barbed wire on the top of it, which he got over. And then climbed up. So we had to get the fire department out there. I had to talk this guy down over the loudspeaker on my car. And
Oh my God!
he was upset about Judy.
Oh my God!
He said he did it for Judy.
Yes.
And that's what ended up in the papers. When the papers and the news showed up, they interviewed him as he was being led away. We did arrest him for criminal trespass, but he said, "I did it for Judy." And that story actually made it into some pretty well-known climbing magazine.
Are you serious?
Climbing trades. Yeah, I did. Yeah. So,
Wow.
Man climbs water tower.
Wow.
Whatever happened to this guy?
Well, this guy, his shenanigans didn't last much longer. Several months after that, I was again out doing my marshal thing, and I got a call of police code of a 1050 PI, car pedestrian, which would be a car accident with personal injury involving a pedestrian. So I get out there. It was at the intersection of US 40 and Main Street. So, right on the main thoroughfare and the main cross street. Yeah, he was the town drunk, and he was walking across the street in the middle of the night, drunk, flashing a machete around, and he got plugged by a car that was going down US 40. So now we'll just say his name is Shane. Now poor Shane's in a wheelchair, I believe, the rest of his life. So he didn't get killed. Thankfully, he didn't get killed. But
Thankfully,
the machete was recovered, and
oh my God,
it kind of. The scene of that looked like a liquor store exploded because there was bottles of alcohol all over the place.
Oh my God!
From where he got hit, but his shenanigan ways are stopped.
Now, did he and Judy ever end up together?
I don't know. I think that he's probably still in love with Judy.
Did you ever see Judy? Did you ever know her?
No, but judging from the town that we were in, I'm sure Judy probably had a mustache.
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
She had more teeth in her pocket than in her head.
Possibly. Speaking of teeth, if we just got a second,
sure.
I got flagged down one day while I was out in the same town working in the middle of the day. This woman comes up to me. I had my window down, and you guys remember when you worked the streets, and you always hated when somebody would come up and lean in your driver's side window.
Oh yeah.
So it was one of those people. It was a leaner, and it was a woman. It was a leaner. And so she comes out, flags me down, leans into the driver's side of my car, and she's talking about this Batman and driving around terrorizing the place. It was a Batman. And then she started to tell me about this black van that's driving around terrorizing the place. She spits her front teeth out of her face, and they land into my crotch area on my seat. And she goes, "I'm sorry about that. I'll grab those." She reaches in between my legs and grabs her freaking teeth. So this is the kind of town we're dealing with here.
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
So that's my story.
And then you guys were happily wed 3 weeks later.
We were happily ever after.
Mrs. Big D.
Yeah, that's right.
Holy moly.
He calls her Polygrip.
Well, Polly for short. But yeah.
Well, thanks, Big D.
Absolutely.
That made my day.
Allow me to share some stories.
All right.
We appreciate it, Big D. And you know what? If you have more stories, we'd like to have you back.
Absolutely. I'm always available.
10-4.
I appreciate it.
Oh my gosh. Well, I hope you guys, listeners, enjoyed this. I know I did. There's a lot to unpack from this episode.
Yes.
We got the narcoleptic cop. We got I did it for Judy. I can't remember the other ones. Oh my God. Okay.
We got I guess his name would remember. Never mind. I was going to talk about Mickey Rooney and Bill. We got Bill directed traffic.
All right. And on that note, we're going to leave, everybody.
All right. See you.
All right. See ya. Thanks, Big D. Bye.
Out.